Welcome everyone! In this video we're breaking down the hidden facts behind The Dark Knight and the chaotic process that shaped one of the most influential blockbusters of the century. We'll dig into Heath Ledger's method acting, Christopher Nolan's obsession with practical effects, and several lesser known details that give this film its lasting impact. Let's get into it. The Dark Knight starts telling its story before a single line of dialogue. Nolan begins each film in the trilogy with the bat symbol, and the design foreshadows the themes of the story. In Batman Begins, the symbol forms out of a swarm of bats. In The Dark Knight Rises, it's trapped in cracking ice. In Dark Knight, the symbol appears in fire, hinting at the Joker's obsession with chaos and destruction. It sets up exactly what the rest of the film delivers. Oh, and it's a classic. The film's opening bank heist is one of the most iconic sequences in modern action movies. But what many people don't realize is that the mask Joker wears is the same design worn by Cesar Romero when he first appeared as a Joker in the 1960s Batman TV show. It's a small nod that links Ledger's iconic take back to the character's earliest screen version. And that bus crashing through the wall at the end of the heist, that was done practically. The crew shot that sequence inside a post office dressed as a bank. To make sure that the bus burst backwards through the wall, the special effects team disassembled the bus, rebuilt it behind a large false wall, and used an air cannon powerful enough to blast the vehicle straight through without CGI. Crazy, right? Nolan never made Batman Begins with a sequel in mind, but returned for two reasons. First, he had never made a sequel before and wanted to challenge himself. Second, writer David S. Goyer already had a treatment centered on the Joker, and Nolan felt he understood exactly how to portray the character. Before filming anything, Nolan screened a series of movies for the entire cast and crew over 4 days. Films like Heat, Cat People, Citizen Kane, A Clockwork Orange, and Stalag 17 helped set the visual tone and the psychological atmosphere he wanted. Christian Bale's suit from Batman Begins was completely redesigned because the original was far too restricted. The new suit had a separate cowl and neck piece, which allowed Bale to actually turn his head. For combat, Nolan chose the KC fighting method because it worked well against multiple attackers, which matched Batman's style in the film. Bale attempted to ride the Batpod himself, but couldn't stay on it. Only one stunt performer was able to control it. Bale did insist, however, on doing one major stunt though. The shot of Batman standing on top of the Sears Tower is real, and Bale performed it all himself.
In Orchard, you'll find Harvey Dent.
Did you know that Harvey Dent could have been played by none other than Matt Damon, who was Nolan's first choice, but Damon had schedule conflicts. Other actors were considered, but Aaron Eckhart eventually won the role. He based his performance partly on Robert Kennedy and studied burn victims in cases involving dissociative identity disorder. Nolan initially planned to use makeup for Two-Face, but changed direction because makeup could only add to the face, not take away from it. The final design was CGI. Eckhart performed normally on set, while multiple HD cameras captured his movements for the digital overlay. Christopher Nolan always wanted Heath Ledger for the Joker. Ledger, Hugo Weaving, and Sam Rockwell were the final candidates, but Ledger stood out because he approached the character from a psychological angle Nolan wanted. Nolan said they were immediately aligned on making the Joker frightening, funny, but never comedic. Ledger's preparation is the part of The Dark Knight that has taken on mythic status, and the facts behind it are intense. Ledger locked himself in a motel room for about 6 weeks to build the character from scratch. He developed the voice, the unpredictable laugh, the hunched walk, and the compulsive gestures. During this time, he kept a diary filled with notes, references, and thoughts, including material inspired by Alex DeLarge from A Clockwork Orange. His iconic makeup design was his own creation, using cheap drugstore cosmetics. Once Nolan approved it, the professional makeup team reproduced the same messy, worn look each day. The dried makeup on Ledger's fingernails and hands were intentional. It showed he applied the paint himself, adding a layer of unsettling realism. The character's lip-licking, which became one of his defining traits, came from a practical issue. The prosthetic scars kept coming loose, and Ledger would lick them back into place. Instead of hiding it, he incorporated it into the character. During filming, Ledger stayed in character between takes. Crew members would hang around the set just to watch him work. Ledger's iconic performance earned him an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, despite passing away before being able to claim the award. Across all award bodies, Ledger won 32 awards for the role. Nolan's commitment to practical effects shaped the film's realism. The car chase in the middle of the movie is a perfect example. The biggest stunt is a truck flip. It was not CGI, it was a full-size 18-wheeler rig with a steel piston powered by a TNT charge. The stunt team reinforced the cab so the driver could stay inside during the flip. When you watch the scene, you're seeing an actual truck thrown into the air in downtown Chicago. Crazy. The interrogation room scene is one of the best in the entire film, let alone all of cinema. Ledger told Christian Bale to hit him as hard as possible to help him stay in character. Bale refused, but the intensity comes through anyway. There was originally a moment where Batman kicked Joker in the head before leaving the room. Nolan removed it because it felt too petty for the character. Hans Zimmer used unusual techniques to create the Joker's theme. It is built around two notes, D and C, a nod to DC Comics. Zimmer used razor blades on piano wires and metal shards on guitar strings to give the theme that sharp, grating tension. The Dark Knight was the first major feature to shoot with IMAX cameras. These cameras were huge, loud, and hard to operate, but Nolan wanted the massive aspect ratio for several key sequences. About 37 minutes of the finished film was shot in IMAX, including the opening heist and the convoy chase. Cinematographer Wally Weister said they ignored most of the textbook rules on how to shoot IMAX and simply created what looked and felt right. Until this day, The Dark Knight still remains as one of the greatest films ever made, which is largely due to Nolan's ability to expertly explore themes of chaos, duality, and choice. The Joker sees himself as an agent of chaos. Harvey Dent represents duality both symbolically and literally, and the fairy sequence at the end of the film forces two groups of people to confront the nature of moral choice under pressure. The film reshaped modern superhero movies, changed the way studios approached marketing, and pushed practical effects and IMAX filmmaking into the mainstream. And at the center of it all is Heath Ledger's Joker, an iconic performance built through isolation, method acting, improvisation, and a total understanding of the character's psychology. That brings us to the end of the video. Let us know what movie you would like for us to explore next behind the frames. Till next time.